It's amazing how we can build a case in our mind for the reason for our defeat. And I'm talking here about in this story that I've came upon in the book of Joshua chapter 17, talking about the tribe of Manasseh that wouldn't go take their mountain because there were giants up there. And those giants, as they describe them, they have chariots of iron, they have weaponry, and I would imagine that they were probably pretty loud. I'm thinking that when Goliath stood over on that mountain opposite the valley of Eli, when young David came down there to bring the cheeses to his brothers in the armies of Israel, he heard that giant come out there and roar. I think he was loud. And when most of the soldiers of Israel heard that loud roar of that giant, they fled to their tents. David did not. A big old giant, that could be a pretty colorful picture as you would form it in your mind. And I would imagine that little braggadocious, all of that just working against your mind and imagination and just fueling your defeat. In other words, I'm not even going to attempt to take that on, because look at it. Look how big it is. Look at all those armors and all those weapons of war and those chariots of iron. There is no way that I could possibly have success against that. And you remember when Moses sent the spies in to spy out the land, and they came back with this report. They said, we can't go take that land. There's giants in there, and we are as grasshoppers. That's the description they gave. We are but grasshoppers compared to those giants. But see, Joshua and Caleb, they had a different opinion. And I think the thing that made the difference was how they measured and viewed the God that they serve. I think that's an important lesson for us even today in our Christian faith. Just how big do we view the God that we serve? Just how powerful is he? How involved is he? Well, you answer those questions, you'll find out a lot about yourself. And the reason why often we just kind of live in the valley of despair is because we have concluded that the giant is big and powerful and our God is limited. And when you live with that mindset, then you're not going to take your mountain. But that's what Joshua said to the tribe of Manasseh. He said, but the mountain shall be thine. But the question is, have we determined that God is not big enough to be able to take care of the giants upon that mountain or those giants in your life? Well, first of all, we have to identify what those giants are. And just how do we view the giants in our lives? Well, I think that's a time just to be spent in reflection and meditation. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.